Hey guys, Doug from Deep Bucket Fishing and Outdoors, and I've been inspired by some other channels like Steve from Pax-A-Lot or Happy Place Camping to go to some more historical places, give you guys a little tour of history here in New Jersey. I did that last time with the hike in the Palisades, and now I am at the Jockey Hollow Reservation in Morristown, New Jersey. This place is famous because this is where George Washington wintered with his soldiers through a really tough winter during the Revolutionary War. Cornwallis was chasing around, and they came here for the winter. And it was a pretty brutal winter from what all stories tell us. So we are going to do a little tour of this area. It's not a lot of crazy hiking. I might end up doing about 6 miles, and it's going to be a lot of people here. But it is fall, it's November. It started off pretty chilly. It was like 35 degrees when I got to the parking lot. It's starting to warm up. We're also going to do another backpacking review of another meal. So come along, let's do it. All right, here we are, Jockey Hollow. There's no actual trails on this map, but we're gonna kind of go like this. It's not much of anything. Here's a house. It's a house. Cool. Nice trout they caught. It even comes with authentic flies. Let's see if we can find the gray trail. Is it maybe? I don't know. Why would you blaze a trail gray? The Grand Loop Trail is what we're looking for. White. Alright, so here we are. We're going to do some... We're not going to stay on one trail. We're just going to kind of meander about. I don't think we can actually cross this river. One of these rivers, the bridge is out. Kind of goes around the circumference of the entire park. I'm here because it is my assumption that this will be the least crowded trail there is here. So I hate people. So it's a historical trail, and they say it's interpretive, and I'm not entirely sure what an interpretive trail is exactly by definition, but I guess you could interpret the wheelbarrow here as something. I don't know what your interpretation is. Mine is oops, that was George Washington's wheelbarrow. So I guess you don't really need a trail map on hand, because they're gonna have these signs at every intersection. We'll just find out. I mean, I don't trust that. I wouldn't rely on having a posted sign. Morning. Something up there? Oh, okay. Now, as a Boy Scout troop, we would actually take the train and then hike into here, and we would camp. I'm not really entirely sure where we camped. It's been a while. Well, we used to do that because, you know, even better than just driving here. We took the train and we hiked this trail to this park, camped here, and then hiked out. One time we came here in the summer, we hiked in from the train and then camped. The bugs and mosquitoes were so unbelievably bad that we packed up, hiked back that same day. But no bugs today. So this trail, actually, if you follow this trail up and around and you went maybe 40 miles or so, it passes through several of my favorite fishing spots. All right, so we want to go see some soldier huts, don't we? So we're going to go down the hill and see them. Soldier huts. The suffering of the Continental Army during the terrible winter encampment of 1779 and 1780. It commemorates also the ability and leadership of George Washington. The main part of Washington's army camped here in Jockey Hollow during that winter. There were no smiling fields and shady trails, just snow and cold, bitter cold. The rural comfort of Henry Wick's farm sheltered many of the cold 10,000 who camped here. 10,000. The largest number of Irishmen served the American army. 7 out of the 8 brigades in Jockey Hollow were commanded by generals born in Ireland who had Irish parents. It is estimated that 1/4 of the entire Continental Army was from Ireland. In some regiments from Pennsylvania and Maryland, almost half the soldiers were Irish. The Irish were so numerous in Pennsylvania line that General Henry Lee of Virginia referred to as the Line of Ireland. On St. Patrick's Day, George Washington ordered all work parties to cease for the day. In the New York Brigade, the officers were told not to detail for duty any sons of St. Patrick. That's right, go Irish. The 1st and 2nd Pennsylvania Brigades, the Pennsylvania line, was the backbone of Washington's army. From the invasion of Canada in 1775 to the victory of Yorktown in 1781, Pennsylvania troops served in almost every major battle. All right, let's go see these huts. 12 men per hut. It's not all that different than our bushcraft cabin. So this is where the soldiers would sleep, sitting by this fire. Pretty drafty cabin. I would imagine they would have filled the gaps here with mud and grass. This stuff growing out of the shingles here. I've seen some roofs in some of my home inspections that look similar. Here's the officer's hut. Washington ordered that the officer's hut be built last, after the soldiers had moved into their huts. While the soldiers were in their huts by Christmas 1779, some officers did not move into their hut until much later. Unlike the soldiers' huts, the officers' huts did not have required dimensions. Maybe that's why it took so long to build them. All right, let's move on. More vultures, and a hawk, and a crow. Circling me. Circling this bench. So in the trees up here, it sounds like waterfall, but there's like tens of thousands of black birds up there. And vultures in the trees. Yeah, they're moving. It's like a cloud. Stark's Brigade occupied this slope. The Battle of Springfield. That's right where I grew up. 2 towns over. So from this bench I'm sitting at, I can actually see where I live. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I don't think I'll pick it up. But right there is the World Trade Center sticking over the ridge. And where the ridge goes and then does a sharp drop, that is the South Mountain Reservation where I grew up. I live on the far side of the South Mountain Reservation over there. But I can just see the World Trade Center from here. Lena went to college at Drew University, which is kind of like right there down the valley. Alright, that's the overlook. Let's go see if we can find a place for me to cook. This is the trouble of having these posted maps. Right here, it's all worn out from everyone doing this. Alright guys, today's meal is from Backpacker's Pantry. There's 3 cheese mac and cheese. 2 servings per container, all for me. 430 calories per serving, so make that 860 calories for me. This takes 2 cups of water. Last time I went backpacking, I had to use a lot of water. 2 cups, 16 ounces isn't bad. I'm also going to have a dessert from Backpacker's Pantry, the creme brulee. 610 calories. This one takes cold water. And then you gotta wait 10 minutes. There's a little chunkies in there, but we're out in the woods. A couple chunkies is okay. So much easier to light with a Zippo. And boil. There we go. Let's eat some mac and cheese. A lot of mac and cheese, man. This is a lot for one person to eat. Cheesy mac. Of all the backpacking meals I've rated, the best one has been the Peak Refuel pesto pasta with chicken. That was like an 8 or a 9. That was fantastic. It might have been a 9. And the worst one was the one I did last week. I don't remember who it was, but it was like soup. As far as this one goes, the flavor's good. It's not great. It's cheesy. It's good. It's above average in terms of flavor. What really makes this meal stand out is it is filling, man. As one person eating this, it's a little tough. 2 people, it's definitely good for 2 people. If you were doing an extended hike and you were looking for something to really fill you up and just load you up after the hike, not in the middle of it, like I'm doing, this is really good. And I've still got more in there. It's a lot of food. Me and Lena it would have been perfect for 2 people, basically what I'm saying. So I'm going to rate this meal an 8, just based on value alone. Flavor's good, fills you up a lot. Lightweight, not a lot of water to make. Negative is it does take 15 to 20 minutes. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. I don't think Lena would like it as much. She's not a big macaroni and cheese person. Here's another tip for eating these. When you tear the top, don't tear it all the way. That way it's 1 piece of garbage instead of 2. If you make multiple pieces of garbage, it's a lot more likely that some of these smaller pieces will end up flying away. Alright, let's check out this creme brulee. Ooh. It's kind of watery. I don't know what the consistency is supposed to be. That's the consistency we have right now. Kind of like curdled milk. A little bit too much water, probably. It's like milk. Alright, let's try this stuff out. I feel like I can just drink it. Probably needs a lot less water. More custardy at the bottom. Top was like milk. Bottom was mixed. Alright, so that custard was actually really good. The problem is, because of the shape of this package, there was a lot of powder on the corners that didn't get mixed in when I first mixed it. You had to like open this thing all the way up. So if it's properly mixed, and again, it's difficult with this package, this is really tasty. Especially the little sugar topping that you put on there, a little crunch. This has got to be an 8.5 in terms of a dessert. Very good. I enjoyed it. So both these meals, the mac and cheese and the creme brulee, they're 8 or above. I would recommend them. Yeah. Okay. Stuffed. Kind of surprised. It's the first weekend of November, and there's a lot of green left. The colors of the leaves have been holding on pretty long. I don't know what that means. I mean, it's pretty warm right now. It's got to be 56, 57 degrees. But from all the predictions I've read, it's going to be a cold, snowy winter. Much like the winter that Washington's troops spent here in Jockey Hollow. The Connecticut line camped here until February when Washington sent them to guard against the British raids near Staten Island. When they returned to Jockey Hollow in May, they had moved into huts in the Maryland brigades, which had just gone south. We were absolutely, literally starved. I did not put a single morsel of victuals into my mouth for 4 days in as many nights, except a little black birch bark, which I gnawed off a stick of wood, if that can be called victuals. 4 days of not eating. This water tank was used by George Washington. Just kidding. So, that's basically a road that's been there since the beginning. That's like a real old trail that they would cart supplies up. Right back at that farm. So that's where we are. That's where I was hiking in the Palisades. Springfield, so I'm from right here. There we are, that's where I live. Technically I live like here. A baby rattle. Fork. A place called Fort Nonsense. Alright guys, that about does my trip here at Jockey Hollow. A little bit of history here, which is kind of cool. As far as Jockey Hollow hiking, it's kind of a day hike kind of place. It's not very difficult, so the white trail is probably the most difficult trail. And by difficult, I mean I really did not break much of a sweat. Good thing about that outer trail, the white trail, is probably the least crowded. I'm sure that the other trails in the middle are going to get really crowded. As far as like local reservations go, I mean it's less difficult. It's better than like Watchung Reservation, which is like real easy and small. I bet you could probably find more difficult trails to run or hike in the South Mountain Reservation. And then of course if you go up towards the AT, you're going to find some good stuff. So it's not a difficult place. We had a good meal. I'm stuffed still. I think the best time to come to Jockey Hollow is like the beginning of November, just because of the colors. It's definitely got like the rift kind of feel to it. It's beautiful. It's just not difficult. There's not a lot of peaks or lookouts or anything like that. It's just walking and some history. Thanks guys for coming along on this hike. Give me a thumbs up and a comment down below about what you know or think about the Revolutionary War. And as always, Eagle Scout out. Bam!